All right, well, I heard from several people that I needed to look at Sunday's clues by Sam. I didn't get a chance to do it over the weekend. Apparently, it was pretty difficult. This one is rated evil, so a link in the description if you want to go try this one yourself, and you didn't get to do it the other day, by the way. Let's see how it goes. So there are no innocents above Xena, who neighbor Chuck. So Helen and Betsy are above Xena and neighbor Chuck, so they must be criminals. Okay, nice. An odd number of innocents in column B are Thor's neighbors. So that's Katie, Scott, and Wanda. And so an odd number of innocents. So 1 or 3 of them are innocent. Well, I mean, Scott's clearly going to be an innocent. Someone named Scott. And Mark, my brother's name is Mark. So clearly Scott's going to be innocent. Mark's going to be a criminal. That's my prediction. I don't know. We'll see. Exactly 2 of the 6 innocents neighboring Scott are in column B. Oh, so that's Katie. Katie and Wanda have to be innocent. And an odd number of innocents in column B are Thor's neighbors. So Scott has to be an innocent, just like I predicted. We need to leave this because we need to remember there's 6 innocents neighbors. We've already got 3. All right, Mark is one of Uma's 2 criminal neighbors. What did I tell you? Obviously, all Scotts are innocent. All Marks are criminals. Uma's 2 criminal neighbors. So Thor, Xena, and Zed, we need to have 1 criminal. I'm just gonna mark. I'm gonna mark things a little differently because on the harder ones, sometimes there's more to keep track of. So I'm gonna try and mark things where there's something going on. Basically, is what it means. Okay. Only 1 column has exactly 2 criminals. So can Zed? Well, yeah, because that could be the one. If Zed is the criminal, Thor and Xena are innocent, and C will be the 1 column that has 2 criminals, but we don't know that is. Okay. Only 1 of the 5 innocents on the edges is Betsy's neighbor. Okay, so we've got something going on with these 3 then. One of these 3 is innocent. Okay. All criminals below Aaron are connected. Okay, well, that'll be helpful if we know how many criminals there are over here. Okay. Exactly 2 of the 6 innocents neighboring Scott are in column B. So there's 6 innocents neighboring Scott. We've got 3. If Zed is a criminal, Thor and Xena are both innocent. That gives us 5 innocents around Scott. So we'll have 1 innocent among... let's make these... Sure, we'll go with that color. There would therefore be 1 innocent over here and 2 criminals. And we know there's only 5 innocents on the edges. Well, we've got 1 up here, and Wanda is 1. That's 2. We only have 3 more innocents on the edges. So if Zed's a criminal, Xena is innocent. That's 1 of them. We'd have 1 over here. So there'd be 1 left. If there's only 1 innocent over here, but among these 3, Penny has to be a criminal. Because we know the criminals below Aaron are connected. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything about Freya and Aaron. And they could both be criminals, and Uma could be the last innocent still. If Xena and if Thor is the criminal, that gets interesting because we've got 5 innocents around the edges. We've got 1 up here in the what I'm going to say is purple. We've got Wanda. That's 2. If Thor is the criminal, Xena and Zed are both innocent, and there's 2 innocents over here. That would be all 5 innocents. So, in that case, Freya and Aaron and Uma are all criminals. I'm wondering if one of those 3 is always a criminal. That's kind of what I'm wondering. So we know there's going to be at least 1 innocent between Xena and Zed. Also in that situation, Jerry has to be the criminal. Because Freya would be a criminal, and the criminals below Aaron have to be connected. Wait. That didn't work, did it? Hold on. Let me do that again. So we know there's 6 innocents around Scott. There's 5 on the edges. Chuck, Eve, and Igor have 1 innocent among them. Wanda is one of the innocents on the edges. So we only have 3 more. If Thor is a criminal, Xena and Zed are 2 innocents. And there's 1 innocent over here, which is all of the innocents. So Freya, Jerry, and Penny would all have to be criminals. In that situation, because Freya is a criminal, and the criminals below Aaron, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because you'd need 2 innocents. Because of the 6. 1, 2, 3. If Thor is a criminal, Xena's an innocent, that's only 4. You need 2 innocents over here. You would have 2 in the red, orange, whatever. Plus Wanda is 3. Plus Xena and Zed is 5. You'd have too many. You'd have too many innocents. It doesn't work for Thor to be a criminal. Thor has to be innocent. There we go. All right, all criminals in column D. And now we can say that Xena and Zed are 1 of each. All criminals in column D are connected. Well, we know there's 1 innocent among these purples up here. And so if Igor were innocent, Eve would be a criminal, but all the criminals in column D have to be connected, so Igor cannot be innocent. Igor is a criminal. I prefer Sudoku. Criminals are left alone. Yeah? Okay, so now Chuck and Eve are 1 of each. Xena and Zed are 1 of each. So we've got 1, 2, 3 of our 5 around the edges. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's either both. There's 2 of them over here, and not Xena. Or oh, and what? Okay, so let's think about this. If Xena is innocent, Zed is a criminal, right? If Xena is innocent, Zed is a criminal, and Uma has to be a criminal. If Xena is innocent, Uma's a criminal because Zed's a criminal and they're all connected. But if Xena is a criminal, then we have 2 more innocents in the red or orange over here, whatever this is. I think it's orange. 2 more innocents in the orange because of Scott, which gives us all our innocents around the edges, and Uma's a criminal. Uma's a criminal either way. There we go. Nice. Okay, and so now we don't... nope, not that one. This one. We can get rid of this one because all the criminals are going to be connected no matter what. So Helen has exactly 4 innocent neighbors. Helen has 4 innocent... Well, she's got 2 already. 1 from Chuck or Eve. Gabe has to be the 4th one. I prefer this to Sudoku. Numbers make me dizzy, which is interesting since Gabe's a coder. All right. Only 1. Okay, so are we worried about the column with only 2 thing now? Okay, so if Xena is innocent, then C is the column with 2 criminals. If Xena's innocent, that means there's 2 innocents among the orange. Freya and Aaron have to be criminals at that point, which means Jerry is a criminal. Penny and Vera are the 2 innocents. There would be 3 criminals, so that would be okay. Wait, that was if Xena was a criminal. No, there's 1 column that has 2 criminals, and it can't be B or D. A or C has to have 2 criminals. If Xena is a criminal, then there's 3 in column C. If Xena is a criminal, there's 3 in column C. We end up with 2 innocents in the orange and 3 criminals in column A. That does not work. I don't think Xena can be a criminal. Now, just to make sure I didn't mess that up, let's mark it out and see what happens. Xena is a criminal. There's now 3 in this column, which means column A has to have 2 criminals, exactly 2 criminals. Criminal. Now, Scott has 4 innocents, so the other 2 have to be between Jerry, Penny, and Vera. But those 2 innocents give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all of our innocents around the edges. So Freya and Aaron are both criminals, which means since once Freya is a criminal, Jerry has to be a criminal to connect all the criminals, which means Penny and Vera are innocent. We have 3 criminals. There's no column with exactly 2 criminals. So Xena cannot be a criminal. Xena has to be innocent, making column C the one column that has exactly 2 criminals. Makes me think, what would Sudoku by Sam be like? I don't know. Good question. Okay, so Mark is one of, and Uma needs to have 2 criminals, so Zed is a criminal. Yep, because those were one of each. I like Slitherlink. It has an evil ring to it. Nice, because you make a ring. All right, only one column is Marcus. This we can get rid of this one. All criminals below Aaron are connected to the 6 inches neighboring Scott. So we've got 5. So now we know that in the orange over here, there's 1 innocent and 2 criminals, and all the criminals below Aaron need to be connected. So just the fact that 2 of those are a criminal means one of them has to be Penny. There's an odd number of criminals above, and we now know Jerry and Vera are one of each. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So Aaron and Freya have to be one of each. Now, it's not all the criminals in column A are connected. It's all of them below Aaron. So if Aaron is a criminal and Freya is innocent, we're still okay. But if Freya is the criminal, then Jerry also has to be a criminal. Okay. There's an odd number of criminals above Vera. Above Vera. Odd number of criminals above Vera. Well, we know there's 1 between Aaron and Freya, plus Penny. That's 2. In order to have an odd, Jerry must be a criminal. Nice. I like Ken. It's like Sudoku, but with even more numbers. Well, I bet Gabe would not like that, Jerry. Okay, so we know there's 1 innocent among these 3, so Vera has to be innocent. There are more innocents in row 1 than row 2. Well, we know there's 1 already. Between Chuck and Eve, there's 1, and then Gabe is 1. So those are the same. So Aaron and Freya are one of each. So in order for there to be more in 1 than in 2, Aaron has to be innocent, and Freya has to be a criminal. We can get rid of this now. Nonogram is my type of game. I like drawing. Okay, Gabe might like that. He doesn't like numbers. Although there's numbers in Nonogram, so maybe not. There is only 1 innocent above Zed, which is going to be Eve. I'd play Sam if it existed, and Chuck is a criminal. How about Samagram? All right, well, I don't know. Is the creator of the game, Clues by Sam, the titular Sam, thinking about creating some of these other games by Sam? I don't know. Good question. But anyways, on this puzzle, less than 13 minutes on an evil. I don't feel like that's too bad. People were making it seem like it was super hard, but of course, you know, a lot of it depends on whether you kind of check the right thing. If you look the right way, it's easy to get lost checking the wrong things and missing the obvious, or not the obvious one, but missing the important one. So there you go. Let me know if you solved this one the other day, or if you just tried it today, how it went for you. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.